Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm trying to angle this right so I don't have it pointing on everybody. um, Welcome to the Peach Podcast with Seductive Peach. This is Monday Mental Health Awareness. Just trying to get it together. I should have did like a test thing first, but anyway. Please, for Monday Mental Health Awareness, please welcome our special co-host, artist T.O. LESTAT. How are you
Welcome, folks.
today?
Welcome. Thank you for having us back.
Yes, most definitely. Good to have you back on the show. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
Good, good. I was trying to make sure I went to go live and I'm like, shoot, I didn't realize I had someone in the angle, so I had to hurry up and try to switch the camera. But I really hope everyone's having a blessed day. Make sure you guys also check us out on YouTube at Seductive Peach. You will find all the podcasts, all the Peach podcasts with Seductive Peach shows, and even the podcast I used to co-host on as well. There's a lot of different dope things. I also have an interview on there with an owner from Duck Donuts. Like, I'm starting to do some promo and stuff for businesses too. So whether you're an artist or a small business and you're trying to get heard and you're trying to get your name out there and get exposure, let me know. I do promo, marketing, advertising, brand consultations, etc., all those things for businesses and artists. A lot of people think because I'm in the music industry, I only do it for artists, but I just want everyone to be aware I do it for businesses too. But to get started with the show, what I was trying to send you a message was like, I don't know. I have 3 emails from you, and all 3, I'm not seeing the info we were going over last week.
Uh, I
And
just I just resent it to you, so it should have hit your inbox.
oh, did
We went
you?
over the five
Okay.
things last week, and then there's 5 things to continue in your
Right,
recovery. We're
right.
getting into it pretty much.
And that's what I was looking for. And usually I'll star an email when it's important and I want to keep it. And for some reason, I had all 3 of them starred, but for some reason, that information in particular, of course, the info I'm looking for is
Right,
what I
right.
couldn't find.
You could have copied it or cut it and pasted it last time. You know what I mean, and put it up on your thing, and maybe you took it off
Oh
on
yeah,
accident.
I
Could
definitely
happen.
should. I definitely should have, but I didn't think it'd be a big issue to just pull it back up.
Oh no,
But
I
I
thought
mean,
maybe you did, and then so it's not on the email no more. You cut it off of it. You know what I mean? That
oh
happens.
no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. Maybe I should have as a backup.
I got it though. I sent it to you.
Okay, well,
I should have.
good.
It should be. It should have hit your inbox.
Okay, I'll check in a second, but why don't you tell everybody some things first off, like your top, say 3 things you would do when you're feeling upset, depressed, or like you just need a breather or break from everything. Top 3 things.
Yeah, the top 3 things. Okay, so the first thing I really do is I try to separate myself from what I'm being annoyed by, what I'm being stressed by, what's causing the
Mhm.
depression or causing the anxiety. So I generally take a little walk. You know what I mean? Maybe give
Mhm.
myself a little fast walk. Sometimes I'll run. Sometimes I'll put music in and just walk. But I'll
Mhm.
go around the block a couple times around a beautiful park we have here out in Surprise,
Mhm.
Arizona. And so, like, I kind of get myself out of my head that way, right? So I get away
Mhm.
from the situation. I get into my own zone. Kind of the first step in which I do, so I can calm down,
Mhm.
right? Get that
Right.
breathing going, get the walking
Mhm.
going. So you're exercising. You're now you're expanding oxygen through your body, and you're getting it to your brain and thinking better. And so that's the first
Mhm.
thing I do. Then while I'm coming kind of back to the crib here, I might call my brother or a friend, my engineer Cracker Rican. I might call Shorty
Mhm.
from New York, my
Mhm.
girl Shayna, because these
Mhm.
people help me calm down. So I get in touch with
Mhm.
somebody that I
Mhm.
know isn't going to annoy me, because some people do, and I don't call them. I call people that I know are gonna, give me some sort of, okay, you're good,
Mhm.
breathe, we good, let's do this, and then start talking about something else to get my
Right,
mind off
right.
of it. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then when I get back to the crib, I generally will put a beat on and either go sit in the pool or my little area here like this or on my bed
Mhm.
here and
Mhm.
just write. I get into my creative
Mhm.
state, and then I kind of
Mhm.
really push whatever was bothering me way in the past. So, that's kind of the 3 steps I take. I calm down first. I call someone to let them know I'm not tripping. Let me know
Mhm.
I'm not tripping actually, and then I
Mhm.
get into my creative state and just kind of leave it alone. So,
Right, right. That's what's up. So definitely cooling off, taking a breather, contacting somebody close to you that you know you can talk to, and
right.
also getting into your creative mode and your creative process, which could be very therapeutic. So those are
Yeah,
all
very
very
therapeutic.
good, definitely very good things for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I would say my top three things would definitely be taking a breather first. Everyone needs to just sometimes breathe and calm down, and you're not always thinking sensibly when you're upset.
No,
So
no, you're not.
sometimes you're better off like calming down, because there's no reasoning with somebody when they're really upset either, or you might not even see where that other person's coming from because you're too upset. So yeah, just
Right.
calming down is definitely a good first step. Secondly, I would say definitely maybe turning on some music or writing myself.
Right.
And thirdly would probably be taking a walk.
Taking a walk.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
you do
don't
the
really
breathing
call too
exercises.
many
You kind of.
people. Like once in a while, I'll call someone and be like, "Just tell me I ain't crazy and I ain't tripping too." Just like that, uh, like I'll be venting, right? And I'll be like, "Tell me it's not just me," because people really be tripping, like
Yeah, yeah.
really just
Sometimes I
tripping.
do too. You know.
So yeah, so I'd
Yeah.
be like, "But just let me know, is it me or not me? Like if it's me, okay, I can admit when my flaws and when I'm wrong, but." Like, if it's not me, let me know. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Now, there's
Exactly.
one thing I can say, though, that I love about my boo is that we're very honest and real with each other. And no
Hmm.
matter what, even when we're wrong, we tell each other, like, yo, babe, like, you were late. And that was the outcome of you being late. Or you might be upset with your hairstylist, but you were the one who kind of you know, caused that by being so late to your appointment.
Right,
So,
right, 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 right.
like,
So
I
that's
remember I called my boyfriend one day and I'm like, I'm venting. I'm so mad because the hairstylist left me. And I paid all this money to get there in the lift. And it was like
mm,
$25 just to get there, right? And then
mm,
he was supposed to be my ride back. So now
mm-hmm.
I'm like spending double and I didn't even get my hair done, my pictures done, nothing. So I was tight because he's my
Yeah, I can
hairstylist, my
believe it.
makeup artist, my photographer, my editor. Like he does the whole thing. So I was tight. Like, no, I need more content. So I was late, but then I was like, well, you know how these lifts could be.
Yeah,
They tell
exactly.
you a lift's coming, and then they're 10 minutes late, or
Or someone
they just
cancels, like the one
coming.
time with me.
Right, like, and that's what had happened. But he was like, but darling, sweetheart, if you know that the lift can act funny, why wouldn't you plan to be there an hour early and just be sitting there waiting if you have to wait? So if you know it takes
That's what they
25, 30
say,
minutes
right?
to get
That's easier
there,
said than done, though. You know what I mean? If we were on
right? Like,
time, but if we had that planned out, we wouldn't be stressed out. You know?
but no, it was planned out.
Yeah.
So he's
So
like, if you knew what time, babe, you had to be there, and you know the lifts act funny, why would pretty much he held me responsible, made me accept my accountability.
yeah, yeah. That's the biggest thing.
And at the same time, like I do the same for him. Like if you could find a partner like that, don't lose
Yeah.
them. But one thing I will say is I was upset with him then though. At
Yeah. You're
first,
like, what
'cause
you say?
I'm
You know,
still
you
like,
start to turn on them.
well, at first I'm like, but babe, I'm calling you to vent, not for you to tell me I'm wrong.
Right, 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 right. I hate that. I
Or not
hate
for
that.
you to
I
tell me
love my
where
brothers
I
to
messed
death, and they're a major part of my recovery. But my brothers do that to me quite a bit, man. Like I'll tell
up.
them something, I'm like, and they just start. "Da, da, 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 da." I'm like, are you even listening to what I'm saying? Like, did you hear what I just said? It's obviously not my fault. You know what I mean? They're like, bro, da 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 da, and I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I can man up to that, but this, and this,
Mhm.
and you know, it's
Mhm.
give and take. Then it's the conversations begin, and then you start critically
Right,
thinking about
right. And then you start
your
thinking
thinking.
maybe when you calm down, you think more sensible. And when I started
Exactly.
calming down more, I started
Yep.
thinking more sensible, like, okay, maybe you're right. I didn't
Yeah.
want to admit it because that showed, okay, yes, Melissa was not as prepared as she should have been. She should have maybe been an hour early or at least 45 minutes early calling the lift, knowing how the lift could be, knowing it's
Yeah.
almost a half hour away. Like you're right, because he's a stickler. You can't be late, like late for nothing with him. So he said I would have left too if I was him. Because he's the same, he's a stickler too about time. They're both sticklers about time. So he would have been early to the barber, so
No, yeah, I tried to kind of get there early because
so
I don't like being
me,
stressed out like that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm stressing out over nothing,
right,
really over
and it's
something I did. You know?
like I caused that on myself. And
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
like, I was just blaming the hairstylist,
Sure, sure, sure.
and he was like, okay, he might have left, yeah, but at the same time, you were late. I was like, okay, but 5 minutes late, 8 minutes late, 5 to 8 minutes late. I feel like you're being very unreasonable, though.
5 minutes
What
you're
I'm saying?
good. After 10, now you're being just. I think me personally, if
You
I'm like
know,
five
like
minutes late, look, I can't help it. It's 5 minutes. You know what I mean? But if I'm 10, 15 minutes late, maybe
right,
then it probably is on me.
right.
And
But
I got
that's
to
what
man
I'm
up
saying.
to
Like
that.
by the time he was texting me, I'm leaving. I was only 5 minutes late and got there 3 minutes
You
later. So
wouldn't stay
I
5 more
was
minutes,
eight
huh?
minutes late, but I was 8 minutes late. So that was my big thing. Like, yo, you're
Yeah.
joking, right? Like, this is some kind of joke, right?
You're like, I just came all the way down there. I spent all this money. What am I supposed to do? Catch a cab back home now?
I sure did.
And then
And
you
then I
start
did.
stressing even more. You're like, man, I'm wasting all this money over
I
stupid shit.
did. And then in the long run, that's what I was mad about because I didn't have the money to begin with.
Facts.
I'm spending money I didn't even have to begin with. So that's really
Mm-hmm.
where I was mostly upset. And then it kind of got to be like, you know what? Like I just stopped talking to my hairstylist altogether.
Really?
And then he
You
called
cut him
me.
off. You were
Yeah,
that
but
mad.
I was so mad.
Oh, man.
But then he texted me one day, like, are you still mad at me? Because he knew I was upset. Because he knew too, like 5 to 8 minutes. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I know, really. 5 minutes is not bad.
Come on,
But I'll
bro.
tell you one of the things with mental health I've noticed myself, and I got a person that lives in this house here that I'm staying at here in Surprise. He has
Hmm.
serious mental health issues, like
Hmm.
serious mental health issues, and
Hmm.
he deals with it with drinking and drugs and stuff of that
Hmm.
nature. So it's like then he gets way out of control, and
Hmm.
and it's like, oh my god, and I'm like, bro, you got to start taking accountability for yourself, man.
It's
That's a hard thing for a lot of people to
accountability.
do. Not
It's
saying you, but in
accountability.
general, I think it is.
No, no, no. That's just what I was saying. Like sometimes you have
Yeah,
to just take accountability though too and realize where you messed up. And that is a very hard pill to swallow.
it is hard pill to
We
swallow.
never want to admit when we're wrong, you know?
No, most people don't. Most people don't. But then when it's
But when
mental
you
health related,
do,
the mental health takes over, and you're like, well, I didn't do anything, and you justify it to yourself so much that we oftentimes lack seeking the help we need or the conversation
mhm,
we need because we're stuck in our own way sometimes. You know what I mean? And that happens. It's happened to me, man. So it happens to the best of us. Yeah, that's a problem with all of us with mental health issues. We kind of get stuck where we want to stay, and we're gonna do what we're gonna do, and that's that.
I think that's anybody that's just stuck in their own opinion or their own mindset of something. Anyone
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah, I
because you
think that's
think,
people with opinion.
everyone
Yeah,
thinks they're right, and not
yeah,
everybody is right. Like we think we're right because it's our personal opinion, but we might
right,
not
right.
be. Like I thought I was so right about what I was saying, and I was so upset, but I did have to, of course, swallow that pill and like take accountability too of where I messed up in that situation. And things
Right.
could have went differently if I moved a little different. Maybe if I did go a little earlier, So at the same time,
Yeah.
I had to take that accountability, and then it was like, oh. But at the same time, I think my boyfriend too for like point, because it's like taking accountability for things is so important, and it's
Absolutely.
important in growing too.
Yeah, it's
Um,
huge and growing. It's huge and growing because
Ooh.
when you're able to, and even with mental health, and this is what I was just going to add in. When we use our
Mhm.
own opinion, a lot of us and a lot of people do this. Not just mental health people, but people in
Mhm.
general. We're basing our opinion a lot of times just on our feelings and our emotions. And when you start
Right.
to look at facts, when you just look at the facts, you leave your feelings out, your emotions out, because they're going to misguide you 9 out of 10 times actually, because they
Mhm.
flutter and they're going to change, and it's never going to stay the same. So I've learned over the last probably 3 to 5 years to strictly look at facts of what's going on. And when I
Mhm.
rationally look at the facts, there's only one rational conclusion to come to based on the evidence. You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
try to leave my feelings and my emotions out of it a lot of times because I can get emotional and I can get this is the way, and it's like, but that's not always the way the facts lie. You know what I mean? And so when you
Mhm.
look at tend to look at anyway the facts, the evidence, what's supporting what you feel or say. If it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't support it, then you got to get rid of it. You know what I mean? That's a hard thing for people to do, man. They don't want to give
Mm-hmm.
up their feelings. Their feelings and emotions are so important to themselves. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. But we also got to remember that it's very important for us to look at other people's feelings and emotions and how they feel and try to understand them from their point of view. But I
Absolutely.
feel
Empathy's
like
huge. We lack it.
you're not a real, you can't really say, how do you say? You can't really say you're a person someone can count on if you can't even, or you can't even really call yourself a leader if you can't even take accountability for your
Facts.
actions.
Yeah. And if you can't take the time to say, okay, this is different than what I think, but let me hear you out. Let me see what you have to say. Let me analyze and say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know, I can compare it to, contrast it to, and let them speak. Let people speak the way they should be. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we don't listen to people's feelings. We're not
Mm-hmm.
empathetic. We're not sympathetic to
Right.
people anymore.
Right.
It's a
Right.
quality that's lacking. I was just talking about this on an
Mm-hmm.
interview the other day with the equestrian lady I
Mm-hmm.
was talking to, and it was
Mm-hmm.
the same topic. It was like, yeah, man, we have
Mm-hmm.
to be more sympathetic to people because we don't
Mm-hmm.
know what they're going through. You never
Right.
know what someone's going
Right.
through, and to
Exactly.
assume it is
Exactly.
is bad. You know?
Exactly. I definitely agree. And just like I'd always say, like to people, like you never know just by smiling at somebody or just by opening a door for them or just by speaking to them,
Facts.
how much you might make their day. Like they might be having a bad day and they might even look miserable in the face. And you're like, ooh, I don't know if I should say hi. You still maybe should say hi. That might make their lighten their mood 10 times
Yeah,
better and put a smile on their face. Like
absolutely.
at the end of
Absolutely.
the day,
It's huge.
everyone's going through something,
It's huge. What you
it's
just said is
huge.
huge. And I used this with my daughter probably 2 months ago. You know what I mean? Because there was a brief
Mhm,
period, not even a brief period, probably a whole year where my ex-wife
mhm,
would have my daughter so alienated against me and not want to talk. She would literally, we get 3 times a
mhm,
week, 20 minutes. And a lot of times we
mhm,
talk an hour and a half, and I love it. It's what I look forward to. Tonight is one of those nights. You know what I
mhm,
mean? And so,
mhm.
like, some days, a lot of days actually, she'll pick up, hey, Dad, I don't want to talk. Bam. And hang up before I even said, I love you, goodbye. Oh, and then I have to wait 2 more days for her to do the same thing. Right. And so
Right,
one day, after that happens so many times after times after times, you
right,
get used to it. You almost get numb to it. So you just
right,
pick up, yeah, I'll go to, and you just hang up. You know what I mean? You go
right. Mhm.
sorry about that. Someone's calling me. You go
You're
through the
good.
motion, and
Mhm,
I said to her the one time she said, and I was at a low point. I was super low, super sad, super
mhm,
depressed. And she said, "Hey, Dad, I just want to say I really miss you, and I really miss talking to you." And I
mhm,
looked at her and I said, "You know what, sweetheart? I needed to hear that today because you never know the one or two words you say to somebody,
mhm.
how much you can change the outcome of things."
Most
Because I
definitely.
honestly was in the middle of something, and I was about to
Mhm,
dip out the state and leave for good, never see my kid
mhm,
again. And I was contemplating, should I do this? Should I do this?
mhm.
And she said that to me. And I said, Juliana,
Right,
you don't even know how much
right.
you just changed the trajectory of my entire life and yours as well. And one
Mhm.
one statement is all she said. And it made a big impact on me. So you never
Exactly
know.
my point. It could really make a big difference in people's lives, like even just giving them a compliment or like
Yeah.
nowadays, I've been through so much in my life already at my age that I feel like it is so important not to hold back what you need to say to somebody.
Right,
Like,
right.
I think it's so important to definitely always, of course, speak your mind and everything, but mostly if you're feeling some kind of way, like, and it don't necessarily have to be a negative thing. If you're
Mm-mm.
just feeling like you should say I love you or I care about you to somebody, say it. Don't let something hold you back because you don't even know. We're never promised tomorrow either. That's number one.
No, that's the thing.
And-
Those 3 and 4 words literally can change some. I love you and I
or
care
I
about
care
you.
about you
Oh
could
my
change
God, will bring
someone's
the
life
sorriest
and their
heart
mood
back to pumping
completely.
full blood.
Exactly, exactly. And so
100%.
it's like so important to not hold back and bite your tongue and just say those things. Like, I don't think people realize because a lot of people take those words for granted
Granted.
and they take
Yeah.
advantage of people that even use those words instead of really like wow, this person really does
Cares.
care about me, really
Cares or
does
doesn't
love
care is what
me.
that will signify to you. And that makes
Right.
all the difference when you're feeling alone, when you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling
Mm-hmm.
depressed, when you're feeling like nobody's there. When someone says,
Mm-hmm.
I love you, or hey, and they just call you out of nowhere or send
Mm-hmm.
you a text, yo, you good, son? How's everything? It changes your entire aura. It literally can lift your
Mm-hmm.
spirits from the dumps, man.
Oh,
So,
most definitely. Most definitely. And I would like to give a quick shout out from the YouTube. Jim Schmidt said, thanks for
yeah,
talking
Jim
about this
Schmidt, good stuff.
subject. More should be talked about this issue. Most
Yeah,
definitely, like on this show, Monday Mental Health Awareness, we definitely will be talking about all different issues dealing with mental health and different topics because it's
yeah,
really important. We're trying to bring awareness to people and help them understand where other people are coming from. And not just people with mental health issues, but also help their loved ones understand maybe
exactly.
how to deal with those loved ones that have mental health issues too. So it's definitely important. First, real quick, we're gonna go over the five things that we discussed last week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going just a quick overview, and then we're gonna go
It's a
to
good idea.
the next five things. So whoever missed the last show, we'll do a quick overview, and then a quick review, and then we're gonna go ahead and go into the next five. I share my
Excellent. I like that. I like we should. I think we should. I think it's a good idea to review just in case you picked up and you want to go back the next week and listen. Go ahead. Last
Mhm.
week we got up already. You know, we're trying to be
Right.
the Al-Anon of the mental health group in a sense. You know what I mean? Like give you that
Mhm.
support and give you how you can work with people, work with yourself, loved ones, friends, or people you don't even know. More importantly.
Okay, you could see the screen, right?
Yep.
Okay. Five steps to mental well-being. Number one is connect with good people. Good relationships are important for your mental well-being. Like you were saying, picking up the
Mm-hmm.
phone and calling someone and
Yeah.
just letting them know, hey, just venting, just talking, having good relationships with people that you can really connect with and people that can relate to you and people you can
It's
communicate
huge.
and confide in. It's so huge in your mental
Huge.
health, for sure.
Huge in mental health. There's nothing worse than feeling alone,
Mm-hmm.
calling five, six, seven people and nobody answering, and then you
Mm-hmm.
realize, shit, man, I really might be alone. You know what I mean? And then that kind of
Right.
takes another
Right.
heavy toll on you. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So if you got a couple solid cats that you can talk to,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a significant other like
Mm-hmm.
yourself or like
Mm-hmm.
my buddy, my brothers, whomever, you know what I mean? Reach
Mm-hmm.
out. They need to hear from you. You need to hear from them.
Right, most definitely. And you know, when no one does answer the phone, because everyone does get busy in life, you
Call
know,
back.
I'm not gonna sit here and preach, but I will say, always look to the Almighty, and He's always
Yeah,
there when no one
absolutely.
else is. Period.
Look to your personal God. Absolutely.
Right.
Your
Whether
personal God is what you should be always relying on, you know, in your times of
exactly
lowness and your times of high.
your spiritual life could really help your mental health in so many ways too.
100%. 100%.
100%. Number two is and that's a side note right there
Yeah,
for
this is a side note.
everybody.
It's facts,
Number
though.
two, be physically active. Being active is not only great for your physical health and fitness, it is also good for your mental health.
Yeah,
Um, Being physically active, like even just taking a run could, or going to the gym could help you like burn off so many endorphins and, just really get some steam off sometimes, or burn those
definitely.
endorphins from making you do something else you shouldn't be doing. It could be actually doing physical activities, different fitness and different health stuff could be a good distraction too from doing instead of doing other things you shouldn't be
Yeah,
doing.
and it gets your blood flowing, your heart rate up, your oxygen moving to your brain, into your organs, and that just
Mhm.
automatically is going to make you feel better. The more oxygen you bring in, the
Right.
more healthy you're going to feel. Period.
Exactly. And number three, learn new skills. Nothing's wrong with learning new skills. You don't need to feel uncomfortable or shy or even feel ashamed because you don't know something.
Right,
Nothing's
right.
wrong with asking questions. Like asking questions is, what do they say? The question not asked
This is
is
the
the
only bad one.
question
The
because
only bad question, the one you don't ask.
exactly, because asking questions is what's going to help you learn, help you grow and elevate.
Right. And I'll add in with the new skills. Don't be scared to
Mhm.
fail because there is no
Mhm.
failure without, there is no success without
Without
failing. I mean,
failure.
if you could
Mm-hmm.
do it, then you wouldn't be learning anything. You already know it.
Mm-hmm.
So failure is a part of the learning process. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are like, oh, I don't want to fail. I don't want to try. Well, if you don't even try, you automatically fail. That's the worst type of failing. You know what I mean? You might as well try,
Most
fail, pick up,
definitely.
try again, fail, pick up again.
Mm-hmm.
Learn as you go.
Mm-hmm. You do. You definitely do. I don't know who's trying to call me right now, but I had to stop that real quick. So, next thing, number 4, guys, is give to others. Giving to others, it's not about
Huge.
sometimes even people taking advantage of you. It's about you giving to others helps your heart, your soul. It helps you feel better.
Yeah, yeah.
So making other people, if you have a soul,
If you got a
giving to
soul. I know
giving
a couple
to
girls. I know my ex-wife is soulless. You know what I mean?
on a side note, giving to other people is definitely
It's
who keeps
huge.
trying to call me is definitely huge. Giving
Yeah.
to other people could really help your soul, could really help you feel better
Your self-esteem. You know what I
about
mean? Because you believe it or not, if you're giving, this is the thing. Like, you don't even got to give money. You don't got to give possession. You can give time. You can give energy. You can give a thought. You can give a prayer. You can give
exactly. It don't
anything.
necessarily have to be exactly. It don't necessarily have to be like you Tio said. It doesn't necessarily have to be money or gifts, something physical. In the physical sense, it could be
Yeah.
something like just your time,
Yeah.
conversation. Sometimes people just need someone to talk to. Sometimes people just need
Absolutely.
company. Some people just are lonely and really need companionship and someone to talk to. That's
Facts.
what
That's it.
I'm
And that
saying.
comes down to a great book. If you've never read it, out there too in the audience,
Mhm.
The Language of Love. You know what I mean? When you understand what
Mhm.
people appreciate, then you can give them the right gift. You know what I mean?
Exactly, most definitely. And everyone on Instagram on my phone watching, please make sure you guys share, share, share. It's greatly
Share, share. Yeah.
appreciated. And tag, share and tag. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Seductive Peach, Teal the Stat. We're not just in the music industry. We are real people.
Mhm.
We go through real emotions every day too. And, you know, some of us have some good days, some bad days, and all of us need to improve. So we just doing this together, guys.
The funny thing is I won't be live and my phone won't ring. And then as soon as I go live, someone's calling me 3 times in a row. Like,
Facts.
ah. So, but anyway, pay attention. Number 5, pay attention to the present moment. Mindfulness is so crucial and important in your everyday life. You
Yeah.
should be mindful from the time you wake up to the time you put your head on that pillow. You definitely should have mindfulness and pay attention to everything going on around you. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't pay attention, you're going to be oblivious and not know what the heck's going on and then wonder why you're lost or stuck or have even more questions. So
Yeah.
paying
Good point.
attention to the present moment is so crucial and important. Always be mindful of the moment you're in,
Yeah.
definitely. I always
Because like
even
you said
tell
earlier,
my kids,
we're not even guaranteed an hour from now, let alone tomorrow.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Like I even tell my kids, always
Be
be mindful
appreciative.
even of your surroundings. Like always be mindful of the people around you and of your surroundings. Always be
Absolutely.
mindful of different landmarks and different street signs and different things so you know your way around even.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
so there's
Absolutely. Being the
all
present is
different
the best
ways
feeling.
to be right, all different ways to be mindful. Is there anything you would like to add to those 5 before we move forward?
No, I think that's solid with it. I would say, those they're difficult. You have to practice them though. Like with anything in life,
Mhm,
practicing things the right way make a
mhm,
difference. You can practice it
right,
the wrong way and you still got it the wrong way. But if you learn it,
mhm,
practice it the right way, and you continuously use it, again, our
mhm,
brains, our plasticity, and we reroute neurotransmitters all day, every day, and you can create the pathway you want your brain to go. It's how you think. So,
mhm. Right, most definitely, I agree. And you guys can also check us out if you are on Instagram on my YouTube at Seductive Peach. Make sure you guys subscribe there too as well. I greatly appreciate it. And I do sub for sub. If you subscribe to me, I'll subscribe back. Like
really,
for like,
okay.
comment for comment, share for share. Let's get this networking really going. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
So education, and I want to give a big shout out first off before we even start this next section. I have a give a big, huge, gigantic shout out to everyone on Instagram that greatly supports me, to everyone in the Instagram networking chats which is how I think I even met you.
You did meet on Instagram.
Yeah, like that's like all around really great support, great people. And I really, really do appreciate, everyone. And they even stay, they might joke around sometimes, but everyone stays professional. Everyone goes by the rules. It's very they're very organized with the way they do things, and I definitely appreciate the support that I get in turn too. So
Yeah.
big shout out to our Instagram family for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. It's crazy you say that because I'm on the phone the other day because I talk all the time on the Instagram with my Goonies brothers, Max Osama and Monster
Mhm.
357. And I said, oh,
Mhm.
I can't do it Monday. I said, I got this awesome podcast that I've been honored to be a
Mhm.
part of.
Mhm.
Mental Health Mondays with Seductive Peach. And Max goes,
Mhm.
that's the girl we was talking about. That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, oh, Seductive? He's like, yo, that's what I'm
Mhm.
talking about. I said, man, you got to link with her, bro. She knows what she's doing on things.
Oh,
So
I
you
just
never
talked
know
to
who
him.
you're gonna meet. Who knows
Yeah.
who?
We just talked actually. Him and I just talked. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Max, my boy, yo. That's my
Mhm.
shout out to the Goonies, Max Osama Monster 357.
Most definitely big shout out. Big shout out
Yeah,
for sure.
we got a joint dropping soon. We
Yeah.
working on it right now. So
Yeah.
that Goonies
Well,
project is
we have a lot of work that we're definitely going to be doing, so I'm very
good, good,
excited.
good, good. I like to hear that.
Yeah, he's super dope, super
Yo,
talented.
Max the man, son. I'm gonna just stop right here for it. Max is the reason, one of the reasons that I spit, yo, because he was the first person that I ever released my music to on a music
Mhm.
review that I didn't know. And he was like,
Mhm.
yo, son. And he got right a hold of me on Instagram. He was like, yo, we need to link up, da da da. He started
Mhm.
showing love from day one. He started dropping gems on me. Boom. And I was just picking them up, polishing them, throwing them in my sack. You know what I mean? And everything I do now, everything I do, release strategy, from that to talking to people. He once said to me, because I was in the middle of some shit last year, he's like, yo, Tio, this is not even about music, son. He's like, something's bothering you, bro. Let's talk off the record. Let's not talk this rat
Mhm.
shit, son. What's
Mhm.
good with you? And that hit
Mhm.
me because no one had ever done that. A stranger. And I was like, yo,
Right.
I like this dude, bro. And me and Max been building 2.5 years. That's my man, son. Like, for real. He saved me a
Most
lot. He's brought me back into the realm of, okay, I can do this and I can get through this. He's got a lot of good advice too.
That's really dope to hear. That's really awesome to hear. And I love to hear like how much, it's not just, like for like, comment for comment. Like people are actually in these chats
Building.
networking and building and
We building out there.
collabing, and I love it. I
Yeah,
absolutely
absolutely.
love it. Like that is the way it's supposed to be.
It is
And
100%.
I
100%.
definitely love watching it, and I love watching the growth in the whole community for sure. So the next thing is education and insight. The next
Mm-hmm.
of the 5 stages of mental health recovery is education and insight. The first component of this is to learn about what's going on with your mental health. A mental health professional can help you do this by assessing you, diagnosing you, and discussing their findings with you.
Yep.
Now, nothing is wrong. I have to say, going to the doctor or going to the
I was just gonna
therapist
say
or
that.
going to a counselor, nothing is wrong with that. I don't care who has a big old head and ego and thing and wants to talk
Facts.
negatively.
I'm happy you say this.
At the end of the day, it's actually very healthy and it's very good for you to be able to sometimes vent to somebody you don't know. You know,
Absolutely. It's actually
someone
the
from
best
the
way to
outside.
vent to a third party because they know nothing about you, your history, what you've done, where you've been, where you're going. They're just listening and giving you an honest opinion with honest
Mhm.
feedback. And that's
Right.
what people don't like. That's why I don't want to see a doctor. I don't want to do
Mhm.
this. Why? Because they're going to tell you what's wrong with you and you got to actually man up and make changes.
Just like we were talking about taking accountability, it goes full circle back
100%.
to taking accountability.
100% with that.
Right.
100%. And I was talking about this guy that I live with, and he's a nice dude, don't get me wrong, but he suffers very much from mental health and he puts himself in these positions. I said, bro, you talk to a doctor? Yeah. You take your meds? Oh, he gives them. I don't take them. I said, why? He's like, I don't want to be on pharmaceuticals. I said, here's the thing, bro. I've seen you use regular drugs. You're telling me that pharmaceuticals are that bad that you're willing to use drugs and alcohol over possibly something that can help you? This is where people got to change their thinking. You know what I mean?
Right, most
We hate farms,
definitely.
but we
Most
take drugs and
definitely.
alcohol. Makes no sense.
Most deaf, because I see like some people that okay, you might have had some depression and you feel like okay, I don't want to take these pharmaceuticals. Find healthier methods or find
Mhm.
something healthy that works for you.
And there
But
are definitely healthier methods. I'm not saying pharmaceuticals the end all be all,
no, I didn't
but if
finish.
you're
I
using
didn't
drugs and
finish.
alcohol, you can't
I
be
didn't
against
finish.
pharmaceuticals.
I didn't finish. What I was going to say in contingence to that was at the end of the day, whether you find something healthy, even that healthy natural thing might not work. You might be somebody that has mental health issues that are even more severe where you do need those pharmaceuticals, and nothing
Absolutely.
is wrong with that. And
No.
some people take it as like, oh, they're ashamed or they feel insulted or they feel this way or that way. At the end of the day, like I don't always advocate taking pharmaceuticals if you can find a healthier,
Alternatives,
more
I agree.
natural
It's a
way.
good point. You bring
But
a good point up.
at the end of the day, some people do need them. And
Absolutely.
nothing is wrong with that.
No,
You just have
absolutely
to
not.
be able to accept it yourself and get on those because those medications are going to help you feel better in the long run. And you made a good point because drugs and other drugs and alcohol, it's just going to make your mental health worse and trigger
Terrible.
worse things.
Yeah.
It's not going to help you at all. So it's like
No,
instead
no.
of going against the grain, if you actually try to really take these pharmaceuticals for a month because it really takes 2 to 3 weeks to really
No,
work.
oh, easily 3 to 4 weeks. Absolutely. That's a great point. The great point you bring up. And I
Right.
speak on this from experience, okay? Because
Mm-hmm.
I was one of them dudes. I was, I'm a conspiracy type guy. Like, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
like a weird conspiracy. I follow the facts and find the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I'm like,
Right.
I'm anti-farm. I'm anti-farm. And then someone at one point said to me, he's like, man, what do you mean you're anti-farm? I see you doing cocaine. You're drinking beer. You're smoking bud. I was like, yeah.
Right.
So he's
So
like,
how can you say that?
you're
Right.
anti-pharmaceuticals, but you're doing mad drugs. Think about what you're saying, bro. I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. How could I be against drugs when I'm on drugs? Like it boggles my mind. I was there, so I get it.
Right. Right.
You got to be willing to
Right.
try if it helps
Like a
you.
conundrum.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So
Most
I'm not
definitely.
speaking from like, oh, you're. No,
Thank
I've done it
you.
myself. I've been that point, and I said, okay, I need to take pharmaceuticals, and I do take something for my type 2 bipolar because that's not something I
Mm-hmm.
can just get rid of. Whereas my anxiety, I have breathing
Mm-hmm.
exercises and natural things I can do. But the
Right.
depression, when it kicks in, I
Right.
can't get rid of that. Nothing I can do can get me out of bed. You know what I mean? And so I do
Right.
take the pharmaceuticals, and I'm not a proponent for it, but I'm not anti either. You know what I mean? It's
Right. I
individualized.
absolutely agree.
Yeah.
It could definitely be a good thing to even help you get better. And it doesn't mean you got to stay on them forever either.
No.
And that
No.
goes to our next one, which is action and changing. Like when you take action, you're going to be able to change different things. Taking
Yeah.
action and making positive changes occurs next in the process of recovery from mental health issues. Now that you have
Absolutely.
some insights into your situation, you can take action and plan to further your recovery. Now, if you
Absolutely.
don't come out of denial and really admit, hey, I have an issue, you're not going to be able to take action and change anything. You really have to definitely find that insight, like get the education, like we said, find that insight and admit, okay, maybe I do have a problem, and then take action. And after you
Yeah.
take action, that means changing things in your everyday life that you used to doing.
Yeah.
Change your habits, change
Yeah.
the way you think. Sometimes it's the way we think that we think is so right, and that might be the main thing we need to change.
Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing with taking action a lot of times, which is hard for people. And it was hard for me too. So I'm not speaking ever for like you. I'm talking from my own
Mhm.
experience in life. I'm
Mhm.
43 and I've been through a lot and I've dealt with a lot and I've changed a lot. You know what I mean? From when I was in my
Mhm.
20s, when I was first diagnosed with what I got now. You know what I mean? And so taking action, the first step in taking action is
Mhm.
stopping and looking at what needs to be changed, what the
Mhm.
action is that needs to be changed. What are you doing about it? And it's
Mhm.
different for every single person. If it worked for
Oh,
him, it
most
might not work for you.
definitely.
You got to
Most
look at
definitely.
you.
I
Yeah.
definitely agree. It is different for everybody.
Every person's different. We have different brain chemistry. I mean, that's just a fact.
Mm-hmm. Right, most definitely. And you just got to find what works for you and then make
Yep.
that change. And you can't be, sometimes change is good. I don't always like change. I'll be the first to admit it. But
Change
sometimes
is hard.
change could be a good thing too. Like if it's change for the better, then it's for the better, and that's an action you should take.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
sometimes we don't like change because it might not be something we really want to do.
Might be
It might not,
uncomfortable. Maybe
you might
hard to
be
do for a lot
uncomfortable.
of people.
But
You know,
sometimes when you really take action and you step outside your comfort zone, you really
that's it.
become even stronger as a
That's it
person.
right there.
So, and braver. So, in order to be stronger and become more brave, you have to sometimes step out of your comfort zone,
Yeah,
take action, and make some changes in your life, whether it's personal, business, health wise, whatever. That can go for any kind of situation.
everything. And I
For
challenge
everything.
everybody, to always step out your comfort. Because if you're in your comfort
Mhm,
zone, that literally means everything's going okay, not great,
mhm.
not bad, okay,
Right, right.
and you're okay with it. But that
Mhm,
doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you. You know what I mean? So when you step out your comfort zone, you're going to be exposed to things that you like and don't like. But that's how
mhm.
you evolve in life. You got to
Complacent.
experience with the likes and the unlikes. How do you
Mhm,
know what you do and don't like? You
mhm.
know?
Sometimes too many people become complacent
Yeah.
with where they're at in life, or complacent and just like too
Facts.
comfortable in
Yep.
where they're at in life. And
Yeah, because when you're in
so
your comfort zone, you're not challenging yourself. It's the
you're not
opposite of
challenging
comfort.
yourself at
It's
all to
challenge.
become braver or stronger
Yeah.
if you're not taking action, period.
Yeah.
And the
Facts.
next one would be finding new meaning and building a new life. That kind of goes into what we already started talking about. Like, you want to find new meaning sometimes with your life. And in order to find that new meaning and even be able to build a new life, you have to do what first? You have to take action and make changes.
Yeah.
So, one step at a time. And each one does require some time and really some insight to really look at yourself deep within, like, hey, okay, this might be what my issue is, this might be what I need to work on, and then actually start taking that action to change those things.
Yeah.
And
And that's what we
in
said
doing
earlier. You got to hold yourself accountable.
right, and in doing so, you're going to find new meaning and
Yeah.
be able to help yourself build a new life in a whole nother way. Like the recovery
Absolutely.
and mental health requires finding new meaning in life and building towards a future that focuses on that meaning. For example, you have you may have a renewed interest in focusing on your family and friends. You might also find a new job or a new opportunity to volunteer. Like nothing's wrong with volunteering. Just because you're not getting paid,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the end of the world. If you really have a big heart and say you have a big heart, volunteering should be the first thing you even think about doing. It shouldn't even be no kind of, conversation about it if you're really serious about being a
Yeah.
volunteer and if you really have a big heart. Volunteering can actually open a lot of doors for you. It might be something you're doing for
Absolutely.
free, but it can also open other doors. And
Yep.
that's another thing people don't realize. Like you have celebrities even doing volunteering at soup kitchens and stuff like that. But then you have a small time artist sitting there saying they can't go volunteer or they can't volunteer and perform here, perform there because they're not getting paid. But at the end of the day,
You're not building that. You're not growing.
you gotta swallow your pride and you
Every
gotta be
opportunity can lead to
humble.
something positive if you let it.
That's where humbleness also comes
Yeah.
in.
Good
You
point.
know, you
Great
have to
point.
be humble and you have to swallow your pride and you have to be like, you know what? This is a good thing. I'd be helping people. Why wouldn't I do it? And that
Yeah.
can open so many other doors. Like
Yes, it
I knew
does.
someone that went to help at a soup kitchen thing before, and it opened doors for them to be able to book people at a big arena. You know,
Exactly.
I've seen someone, go and volunteer somewhere and it opened doors for them other places to perform. Like there's so many different doors things can open just by you volunteering.
And
And
go ahead.
it's
I'm sorry.
no, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
No. I didn't want to. I thought because what I would add into it is that it goes back to what you
Mhm.
were saying earlier. That's giving. That is a way to give without
Right.
giving a dollar, without giving anything
Hmm.
except a little time and a little sympathy. You know what I mean? So when you're
Right. Right.
volunteering for people,
Hmm.
you give, and when you give, you get a good sense of reward, which builds you up. You know what I mean? And like you're saying, networking, man. I've met so many people that I never would have met had I not just did this or did that, and I didn't want
Right.
none for it.
Right.
But it turned
Exactly.
out like this is the CEO, this is this person, this is, and they like, I like your work ethic, Mr. Pitts, and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, cool, cool. Come here, we got something for you. You never know the opportunities that can arise from being a genuine and humble and sympathetic person. That's a fact. Good point, you gang.
Right, right. No, most definitely you have a lot of good points as well. And I think it's just important for people to remember too that when you're trying to find new meaning in your life and build yourself a better life, sometimes that does mean, again, like we were saying, stepping outside your comfort zone, and doing things a little differently, also having a new, like, renewed interest in focusing on your family and friends can come from a lot of mental clarity, your
Yeah.
mind now being more clear of
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of other negative toxic things that you would focus on that really just wasted your energy and time,
Yeah. And it can change your
um,
perspective on things. I had a
and
buddy
change
that
your
was,
perspective big time, right?
yeah, and because I had a buddy that was he's like, these drug addicts, these junkies. I'm like, bro, you don't know what he's going through. Oh, fuck, da, 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 he's a junkie. He went and volunteered. He had a probation thing, and he had to go to a clinic like that was working with drug addicts. He
Right.
came out of that ordeal, and he's like, I was so wrong because these people that are on drugs or whatever, they don't want to be there, man. They are trying to fight, and if someone gave them a little something, they might be able to pull out of it. I'm like, man, this is what I've been trying to tell you, son. You know what I mean? So you
Right.
never know the book. You can't always read the book by how it looks. You know what I mean? But you really got to dig into it and research
Right.
it and
Oh, most
clarify for yourself.
definitely. Most definitely agree. And that's just it. Yeah, a lot of people just don't want to look at themselves. Like I was saying before, like I didn't want to accept accountability that, yeah, I was late. You know, I
Right,
didn't
right,
want to
right,
accept
right.
it. But at the end of the day, when I did accept that accountability, it was like, you know what? I got a lot more mental clarity on it, and I was able to, like, really be more sensible about it because I wasn't being as sensible about it because I was just mad at the time that I felt like I wasted time, I wasted money, and no one was thinking about Melissa and the way she feels or any, it was about, yeah, it was about me. And I was
Yeah,
like,
man. Yeah,
so
I've
at the
been
end of
there.
the day, I had to take accountability too at the same time to be able to think more clear and more sensible. And sometimes when we're, like we were saying before, earlier in the show, like when we get mad and we get upset, we're not thinking reasonably, like we're not
Nah.
thinking very sensible. So it's always best, I think, first step, if you get upset or something or mad, to take a breather, count
Focus
to
inward.
10, take a walk or something that is going to help you just calm down so you can think more clear as
Yeah.
well. Our next step is continuing mental health well-being is continuing recovery / treatment.
That's a huge one.
A
You know,
huge
a lot of people that get on their meds and like, I'm good. I don't need to take them no more. 3 months later, they're back in the same old shithole. You know what I mean? And it's like, no,
good
man,
point.
recovery is an ongoing process. It's not an end all be all. When you find your key element, you got to go with it and you stick with it. And a lot of people
Right.
don't do that.
That's a very good point. A lot of people don't realize, like, you might go through the recovery process, you might go through mental health counseling, you might go through a whole bunch of stuff and then end up right back at square one because you're not really
Absolutely.
applying the tools you've learned through all this.
Yep.
Like, you have to really go out your comfort zone, like we were saying, and really take a leap of faith and really trust and believe in the
Trust
process.
the process.
Trust the
Trust the
process
process. It
and
works.
apply those tools that you've
Yep.
learned along the way in
Boom.
recovery.
That's key. Because, it's easy to apply them. So I can use myself again for an example. I've been in an IOP before. I went there voluntarily. I didn't need it. No one told me. I wasn't mandated to go. I was going through a nasty divorce. I had a lot of shit going through my head. I said, I need to talk with people, man. And I got invested and involved in an IOP. And then here I just was on some probation stuff where I was forced to go to like an IOP group setting type thing. And at first I was like, oh, this group setting is 36 weeks. And da, da, da. By the end of it, I didn't want to leave. 2 weeks ago, I didn't want to leave.
Right.
36
Right.
weeks later, I'm like, man, I'm kind of sad I'm going. I've been looking for every week, every Thursday. I look forward to this group because it gives me a chance to vent, learn, listen, take what we're learning and implement it. Because funny thing, when you're in the programs or you're in something, you're going to be using the skill set because it's there and it's reminded to you every day or every time you go. But when you stop and you take that break in between the two, you stop using things you learn all of a sudden. So I write things down. I put them on my door as I'm walking out my bedroom. Breathe today. Will this today. Thank God today. Do this. And I put it on my board. And not even on my board, my door. So as I see it every time I walk in and walk out my door.
That's a really good exercise.
Yeah. So you always remember
So
what
you
worked and
always,
what
it's
didn't
a
work.
reminder to yourself. Yep.
Yeah. So you know what works. Keep with it. Stick
And
with
you know what?
works.
That is not the first time I've heard that method in exercise. And I've also used that exercise too, just to remember stuff. Like, have like a dry eraser board even to write things on.
You don't even got to have that.
Also
It's simple. You could
helps you be
literally
more
get a
organized.
dry erase marker. And when I was in counseling once, this lady was like, put it on your mirror. I'm like, your mirror? By the time I was done with this counsel, I had shit written all over I had a little space just so I could see brush my teeth, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, everything else was filled up with positive reinforcement. And I'm every day, you look at it, you're like, yeah, you laugh. Someone said this, and it reminds you of things, and it brings you back. That's a key part too, being immersed in it.
Right. Recovery is a process and not necessarily something that has an endpoint.
Facts.
This does not mean, however, that you have to be in treatment for the rest of your life. No. Treatment is just one component of a more extensive process. So you definitely need to continue what you've learned, continue what exactly a process it is you need to go through to help your mental health get better. And in doing that, like it could be through all different types of therapy. Here's one type of therapy, artwork.
Art. Shouts out to my man Faces out of Chicago. He did those for me for my mental health album. I think I said that last time. He painted each individual one for each song. Yeah. Love it.
And each one, like he said, is for each song that he has. Why don't you start from the left to the right? The name of the picture.
The clown that's.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Oh. Okay. I think something happened. Did something happen to your Wi-Fi? Oh, it shows you're still up here. I don't know what happened. But in the meantime, I was on my other screen. I'm sorry, guys. To everyone on the YouTube, I was on my other screen from my email sharing my screen, so I wasn't even seeing the comment. Shout out to you, Nate from upstate, one of my #1 supporters. I definitely appreciate you for sure. Definitely having a relationship with God is very important. Hey, I ain't gonna knock smoking weed because it can help your anxiety and different things. Not everyone agrees with that, but some do. Shout out to Monkey Plays. I'm not sure who that is, but most definitely stuff can't always stay the same. You have to let it go sometimes, for sure. Sadly, people only help for the reward and not just to be nice. And most definitely, that's very true. Unfortunately, sometimes people do only help when they feel like they're going to be rewarded or get something out of it instead of just really helping from their heart because they have a big heart. So, that is a good point too, to always remember, it's important to do things just out the kindness of your heart, not because you're looking for a reward. So that's definitely a very good point as well that you made. And also, let's put you up there. I love art. So tell me, Monkey Plays, what do you think about this artwork? Each one we were saying is an expression from a friend of his in Chicago. He was listening to T.O. LESTAT, my co-host, music. And each one was an expression to him of, let me get back to the screen here so I can scroll it down a little and you guys could see a little better. There we go. It's a little better. Now, each one, I was just going to have him explain the name of, and each song he painted to. He has an album that just came out called Mental Health. And a lot of his songs are related to mental health. Definitely a dope artist that is not only have a lot of education in mental health, but a lot of experience. So definitely check him out too on Spotify, LESTAT, and his mental health album. Definitely a dope artist. Here's some other links and stuff that we're going to go over next week. Just a lot of different advice and a lot of different ways to help you heal from mental health illness. You know, a lot of people feel like, oh, they hear they have a mental health or this, that, and the third, and they feel like it is the end, and it's not the end. That doesn't mean your whole life stops. That doesn't mean you can't still live your life. That doesn't mean you still can't be who you are as a person. You just sometimes have to, there you are.
Yo, my phone died.
Oh, your phone died? I was like, I don't know what happened. I'm like, hello, is he there? And I had to come back to the screen because I was on the
You
email
know, one of the
screen.
mental fart type things. You know, the mental health issues. Like, man, my phone done died, and I was like, no. But my bad, y'all. My bad, audience.
No,
Yeah,
you're all good.
I'm just a person too.
Oh, you're all good. It happens to the best of us. I was
Hell
actually
yeah.
just about to wrap things up, really, and let them know we were going to talk about some more issues, some more topics with mental health next week, 7 p.m. Eastern. Is there anything you want to add? Actually, before we do end things, I do want you, the question I was asking you, we're going to complete first before we end, and that was the name. Let me get back to it. The name of each piece of art, and then the title of the song that it was written, like inspired from.
Okay, I got you on that. I got this here. This is a shortcut. I put my fast charger on my iPhone, but this
Mm-hmm.
one
Mm-hmm.
and this one over here in the far corner. You know, if you show it, so it's the far left. The two clowns on both sides is
Mm-hmm.
written for. It says it right on it. This one is for no more. Those are for no more. This one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to unplug my phone because I think it'll die again. You know.
No, you're good. Don't unplug it.
This one here, this one
Mm-hmm.
with the head screaming. You can see
Mm-hmm.
he wrote them, and this one I love faces. Here's his signature, and he wrote them on there for me. This one's for Dark
Mm-hmm.
Hole. This
Mm-hmm.
one and the other one that's very similar to it. This one here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one this one's actually glow in the dark, you know what I mean? This is why this one's so cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
dope.
glow in the dark. This one is for the vote for faces, the faces for president. He'll staff for president,
Mm-hmm.
by the way. Um, this one is for Dear Diary.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Dark Hole, No More, Dear Diary,
Mm-hmm.
Internal Fight. And then the last song on the album is Mental Breakdown.
Okay. Definitely dope.
Yeah, Faces is one of them artists, you know what I mean? And I love him because, like I said last week, last time I gave him early access to the album. And he's like, man, I've been painting when I'm listening to him. And they just make me think of this. I said, yo, stop there, paint it out. I'll buy them off you, bro. We're going to represent this for my artwork. And we've started building. And he's a cat that I talk to all the time, just like I talk with Max, you know what I mean? And we build on each other. We play with each other. We pull each other up, you know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing, man. So when I put art out or I put music, he puts art out. I put music, he puts art. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right. We
Good. I
have
like this here
Nate.
too, man. Nate, yeah, okay. Smoking marijuana is not a bad thing. I'm not anti-marijuana. I smoke pot myself. I try to not overindulge in
Mm-hmm.
pot. I don't know about you, Peaches, but I smoke weed,
Mm-hmm.
reefer a little bit from time to time. And
Mm-hmm.
it does help me find a relationship with God in the sense that it brings me that unity, that quietness that I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
for. to find
Mhm.
God. So that's a good point you bring
Mhm.
up there. It's your man Nate from, I think, must be YouTube maybe.
From upstate. Yeah, that's from the YouTube. We've had a couple different people. Thank you, Monkey Plays. I'll make sure to sub to you as well. I appreciate that. Um, I
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I was just saying Upstate Nate is on my Instagram too. He's a dope supporter. Most definitely a dope person all the way around from upstate New
yeah, I'll
York
link with him.
too.
I'll link with him.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool, cool.
And we appreciate everyone that's gave their commentary, everyone that supported us tonight, everyone that's tuned in, that subscribed, that's liked. Please make sure you guys share, even after the show's
Yeah.
over. We greatly appreciate it. And we definitely are going to be taking things to a whole nother level with this show. All Digital Global Radio, the Peach podcast with Seductive Peach was on. That station is actually going to sadly be making some changes to where now some shows are moving to another station. So with that being said, my show will be moving to a amazing though outstanding station called 91.3 The Plug.
Nice.
So yeah, most definitely. And shout out to Tony Merritt for that. Shout out to Lamont English. Shout out to a whole lot of people that make everything possible.
Big things happening from this piece
opportunities
here. I promise you, y'all. If you're not tapped in, you need to tap in. On God, you do.
Oh, hey Mimi, how are you? Yes, most definitely exciting. Thank you for tapping in. We appreciate you watching. Yes, I'm definitely super excited. It was on All Digital Global, but it moving to 91.3 The Plug is definitely very exciting
Big
because
stuff. That's
it's
syndicated, so
also
that's good
not
stuff.
just it's an online station, but it's also on the actual radio too.
Yeah,
And
that's what
it's
I'm saying.
yeah,
Syndicated radio.
syndicated radio.
Beautiful.
Oh, yes. And don't Peach is working on some other stations too. So soon will be syndicated everywhere. All countries everywhere. Hundreds and thousands of countries, okay? So we're trying to get
Nice.
syndicated all the way around the mat.
Yeah, and this is, and I'll just speak. I've known Peaches now about 2 months probably. We've been building, and I would say
Yeah.
this is how. Look at this is what stepping out of your comfort zone leads to: changes, big changes,
Mm-hmm.
new people, new opportunities. If you're not willing to step out your comfort zone and try something new,
Mm-hmm.
man, you're selling yourself short in life. You got to
And
try
you
these things,
you know
guys.
what's really funny is that, and that's very true. And you don't listen to other people when you're trying to do something good for yourself or you're trying to find yourself.
They're gonna
Don't
hate.
listen to the negativity around you,
Yep,
because
100%.
perfect example, I used to be a live streamer like 5, 6 years ago. Okay. 6 years ago, it was a long time ago now. So, when I was a live streamer on all these different apps and stuff like that, I've had a lot of haters. I've had a lot of people talking negative, like, why are you always live on these apps? Why are you always this? Why are you always that? But it actually gave me the idea for the podcast. It actually gave me the idea to be able to help people, to talk to people on the show, and not just the live streaming apps. And so, it kind of came full circle with that. Also, me finding myself in a whole nother sense.
Yeah.
I had went through, it was about 6 years ago now or so, 6.5 now. I went through a really bad a toxic breakup. And,
I
I was
mean,
like
I'm at the end of it right now.
rediscovering myself and refinding myself. And in doing that, sometimes I'd be bored and I just go on these live streaming apps, but I was so good at it and everyone was just attracted to like my vibe, my aura. And a lot of people will come to me just to talk about their problems and their issues and stuff. And like, I really seen the effect I had on people, especially when they come back to me and thank me for helping like bring them out their depression and stuff like that. It meant the world to me.
Yeah.
For them to even say that, like, it choked me up. Like, they came up on my live. My live was packed this night, and they came up in the panel just to thank me and tell me, like, hey, I really want to thank you. You really helped me. And I wasn't on the app for a couple months. So they were like, I've been looking for you. And I just been wanting to thank you. And it was just like, in that moment, I realized, I do have a bigger calling you know, and in many different ways. I wear many hats, but I feel like this is one of my main callings, you know, really just being
Yeah,
able to help
it's
people.
big stuff too. That's how we link. You know what I mean? I just happened to release, and I do got I got mental health. The deluxe edition comes out October 1st. So we got a
Right.
couple more tracks on it, new artwork, remastered, all that stuff. So be a lookout for that new album coming out October 1st,
Oh
and the new
yeah,
mental health one.
next week, that's another thing. Y'all stay tuned because next week y'all are gonna hear some music that he's talking about from the mental health album and the mental health tracks, and they're very relatable. Everyone, please definitely follow my co-host Tio Lestat on Instagram and
Yeah,
all streaming
I
platforms.
appreciate it.
Most
And tap
definitely,
in with me. I build back. I will
definitely.
converse with you back. If you say something, I don't blow you off. I don't just
Hmm.
no man. I genuinely engage
Hmm.
in conversation because I enjoy it. I
Hmm.
like to learn new things. If you know something I don't, or I know something you don't, we both get
Hmm.
ahead in that situation. And that's how I've been
Most
coaching my
definitely.
whole life.
Most definitely. And I gotta say, shout out definitely to the Buffalo Bills. I see you wearing your gear today.
Yeah, let's go Buff, baby. I'm out in Phoenix, but I'm representing that 716 always.
Right, that's right. Representing 716 all the way. Shout out to Buffalo. Shout out to upstate New York. Shout out to everyone across the globe that watches us. We definitely appreciate everybody. And shout out to everyone that's just everybody that supports us. I don't want to start naming people and people say, oh, you forgot me. So just
Yeah, yeah,
everybody as a
exactly.
whole, we appreciate you so immensely. Please make sure you guys keep sharing and subscribing and liking and all that good stuff. We're all about networking and making connections. So definitely hit us up. We have a lot of dope stuff. Just to give the quick entertainment news before we wrap things up. Take a breath.
No, and I
First
love
thing,
it. Yo, you got a lot to share, though. That's the thing. If people really
right.
open their ear, you got a lot of good vibe to share, and people could pick
Thank
up
you.
something.
Yes, yes,
Let's
most
go
definitely. So
Buffalo.
first
Monkey
off,
plays. I agree with you. Strictly Buffalo.
the Peach Empire Agency LLC is looking for talent. Um, there is manager
That's you
contracts,
guys.
and there is a monthly fee for me to help you with your marketing. And I would like everyone to know right off the bat that we do come with the best quality and the most exclusive offers. So definitely tap in. We're all about trying to help the artist even on a low budget. So that's what I'm all about. You know, I still try to help artists no matter what their budget is. You know, like, okay, what's your budget? Okay, this is what we can do for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna try to help you. People hear the word budget and they get scared and they think you mean like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And
$100,000
you
or some
don't,
shit.
right, and you don't have to have a budget like they like start off small. You know, nothing's wrong with starting off small sometimes if that's what your budget is. You know, there's
Exactly.
always
Yeah.
something that we can work on. That's number one. Promo packages, from promo packages to brand consulting to radio submissions. We actually have a really good deal for video, music video of any artist. I'm really excited about this actually because it's like hundreds of dollars off these deals right now, but it's only for a limited time. And there's nothing I can do about the cutoff date either, guys. So, but I am going to relay the message because it's dope deals.
Yeah, there it is.
Music videos for promotion for the first 4 weeks is 150. 8 weeks is 250. 12
That's
weeks is
cheap.
350. You get
That's
the
not a bad
radio.
price.
Listen, you get it in rotation. You get the radio interview. You get the promo flyer. You get all kinds of dope stuff in this package. So if you guys are interested, definitely please hit me up in my DM and I'll even send you the flyer. I will be posting the flyer as well after the show. I've been already sharing it in some networking chats I'm in on Facebook. It's definitely really dope deals right now that any artist wants to jump on. And I mean the most
Yeah.
exclusive, best quality guaranteed with your music video promotion. And I'm not just saying that because I only work with the best, period.
Right, right, right. And she don't
Um,
lie. She don't sling from the hip. She talks truth, y'all. And that's for real. And
right.
music promotion artists out there is not check my link in my bio. That's not promotion. Like you
Mm-mm.
literally got to get it in front of people. People think, oh, that's promote. I'm promoting. It's on my Instagram. You have 1,000 fans. Like, come on,
Right.
man. You know what I
Right.
mean? So tap in if you
Right.
want to make your sound heard. You gotta step out your comfort zone. You gotta do something you're not used to doing,
Right.
and let professionals like Peaches take care of it, yo, because that's what she do. This is
Most
her gig, man.
definitely.
This is how she built her empire. So don't
Most
be slipping on
definitely.
it.
We're still building the empire every single day. Every day
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
building. We do
Always
offer
building.
management as well. We offer promoting, marketing, advertising, not just for artists, but small businesses too. And there's always different packages we can come up with, even if you're a small business. And always have the best deals. I'm never trying to hit anyone over the head because everyone is definitely on a tight budget nowadays.
That's how I know you're from Buffalo. Hit someone over the head. That's the expression. Really, not a lot of people on the West Coast use. What do you mean hit someone over the head? I'm like, never mind, man. You know what I mean? Like if you don't get it, you don't get it, man.
I know. I realized from traveling, it's so hilarious how, like, depending what state you're in or what area you're in, the whole like slang of the way people talk and everything is so different.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
funny, but I love it at the same time because you just learning different cultures or different ways people are speaking just from because of where they are, where they grew up. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of different expressions you would think everyone uses or hears, like one like that, and then yeah, you get it something like that, like what? What does that mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely funny too. But yeah, we have every pretty much long story short, we have every single thing you can think of to level up as an artist or a business owner. So especially for promotions, social media management, the list goes on and on and on, folks. So just hit us up if you need us, hit me up if you need me. Booking shows, booking interviews, etc., etc. I
Yeah.
do model too, so I am open to doing modeling gigs, or if you need a
You
host
remodel
at
like
one of
houses?
your shows, or if you need a host at one of your shows, or you need a hype man or something, or if you
That
even
DJ
need
bringing it in?
a drop on your radio station. I'm actually about to do a drop after the show too for DJ Wonder Haze on
Oh,
Live
nice.
365. So
365
um
Live. I like that program too, yo.
yeah, so
I've been
there's a
building
lot
on
of dope
DJs.
shows on there. Yeah. So most definitely a dope radio show too. So shout out to him as well. I like doing drops, it really helps. It just helps people too. Um,
I kind of
uh,
got my own drop in this. Kill the star. And
oh,
I echo
shout.
something.
Oh, you have a thing you do your thing too.
It's kill the star.
So shout
Because
out to
I've been like playing
everybody.
with shit, because something needs to signify you from other people. I mean, that's big, man. That's a big stuff.
Right, right. There's a lot of different things I do that people just can't keep up with everything because it is a
Yeah.
lot. Um, but my lingerie line too. I'm gonna be
Yeah, I see
putting
you got a
my
lingerie line. I just
yeah.
actually saw that probably 2 weeks ago. I was like, damn, she on everything. Like, I love it, yo. Like,
Yeah, everything. I'm actually
entrepreneur.
going to be putting back up my lingerie line website soon. So that's another thing too I wanted to point out because the website, like everything's still available. I just need to put the site back up. So I'm going to be putting that site back up and promoting that again too soon. There's a lot of different dope stuff happening. Also, one more announcement before we go because there is a lot happening. Besides, shout out to the Peach Empire Agency artist, of course. I also wanted to state that I am now officially new owner of Queen Vision's Battle League. So it's a female
Yeah.
battle league. Any females that are battle rappers that are definitely interested and serious about joining a league, please definitely tap in and hey, let's get these bars going.
Which reminds me,
I've been
I
a
did
bar
last
affiliate
after the
as
last time we
well
talked.
for years. I've been a bar affiliate for years. So this is battle rap is not new to me. Just so a lot of you are aware, I'm very experienced with battle rap. I like to stay behind the scenes because anyone that can actually, I give a lot of props to anyone that can even do battle rap and let people just scream and stuff in your face because I'll tell you, I definitely have a lot of patience, but if someone starts getting in my face and I get spit in my face, even though it's a battle rap, I might lose my temper. Okay, so I like, you spit on me. What? So like at
Are
the
you
end of the
talking about
day,
who? What you say about my girl, my mom? You know what
right?
I
So
mean? They get personal. I'm all about it, yo. Give me
right.
give me
So at
two
the
weeks
end of
to
the
write
day,
about somebody.
I love it. I love the culture, but you know, I don't. I love being behind the scenes more. But I love, you know, I've been a bar affiliate with many different leagues. Value to Death, TOS, Guerrilla Warzone. Also a sponsor for Guerrilla Warzone Battle League, and now also owner of Queen Visions Battle League. So definitely a lot of dope stuff even going on in the battle rap world with me too. So please definitely stay tuned. Make sure you're following so you can get all the updates too. And do you have any shout outs or anything you want to say before we
Oh
wrap up?
yeah. Well, one thing first and foremost, it reminds me of, I did record a freestyle from you from the last time we talked. I got to shoot it over to who you had suggested to, because I'm an
Okay.
ill freestyler. I would get in ill with a battle. Give me 2 weeks, 3 weeks to write about somebody. I'll tear you to pieces, man. I don't know too many people that are gonna go in my style. I'm just speaking, you know what I mean? But I do want to shout out my brothers, my girl Shayna, my daughter Juliana, God above everything else. My Goonies brothers, my boy Cracker Rican, Sauce Community, Sauce Network. You know what I mean? Max Osama and Monster 357. That's the Goonies brothers. I want to shout out for myself because I've overcame a lot. You know what I mean? We
Right.
don't give ourselves enough credit sometimes. So
I
shout out to
agree.
LESTAT, because I've overcome a lot of shit.
I agree. And I think it's definitely important. That's a good point you made, is because for the longest time, I never gave myself enough credit, or I never gave myself enough props. And I had to like, and I had to really like, I guess like my last, you know how your birthday, sometimes you reflect on different things. It's like my last birthday, I really like reflected on my whole life and how like where I really came from and how far I've came. And I'm really proud of myself. And I can say I'm really
Yeah.
proud of
So I did the
myself
same.
confidently, you know, and a lot, we don't give ourselves
Yeah.
enough self. Like, I'm not saying be so conceited, you're arrogant, and be so
Cocky.
conceited,
Yeah.
you're cocky and have a big ego. But nothing is wrong with sometimes giving yourself
Being proud of what you do and accomplish.
and accomplish and yeah, being proud of yourself for the things you've accomplished. Like actually just sitting back
Absolutely.
for a minute and really taking a breather and thinking like, damn, like I did do that. I did that all by myself. I am the bitch. What the fuck? I am
Yeah,
that.
exactly. I am that shit.
I am
I
that
am that
shit.
shit. And
I am
it's all
the
right to say that when you've
shit.
done something accomplishable.
Right. And you should always be proud of yourself. You should be proud of
Yes, you
yourself.
should,
Yes,
monkey.
definitely. You should be proud of yourself in anything you do, as long as it's positive, of course. So most definitely, again, that was a really good point you brought up that I just had to embellish on a little bit. But most definitely, thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate you guys, and we will be
I gotta go
following
on
you.
this note because this is my beautiful daughter calling me right now, and she is
Oh,
the
go
reason I
ahead.
live.
I'm
You know what
about
I
to
mean?
play the outro so we can wrap things up anyway. You go ahead. Tell her we said hello. Talk to you later.
Yeah, and I will. You know what I mean? Because I tell
Yes,
my daughter what's going on in my life, as you as parents should. Keep your kids informed. Keep them in the
definitely.
loop, man. They appreciate
Definitely.
it.
Have a blessed night.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate everyone out there. Teal the Stats, Seductive Peach. Tap
Mhm.
in, man. We doing big things. We moving forward.
Salute. Hey guys, I was just telling everyone on Instagram here that I'm actually so excited because I just got a new promo track done for the agency and I can't wait. I'm so anxious and excited to share it with everybody. So I'm just fixing up the production a little bit, a little mix and master touch, and then I'm going to be making it the intro and the outro for the show. And I'm just really working right now on the video, you could say. I'm going to be doing a whole new intro video and outro video as well. So the video, of course, is going to go with the new track. And I have to say, shout out to one of the Peach Empire Agency artists, TSC Suave. He is the one who did the promo track, and he is such a dope artist. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate all the love too on Instagram. Thank you so much. Salute to everybody. But yeah, I can't wait until I get it on there because it's definitely talk to you later, Monkey Plays. And everyone have a blessed night. I definitely can't wait though until I get this video done to put this track with it. It's gonna be dope. You guys are going to love it. I know you guys are going to love it. I love it so much. I'm anxious to even just put it out there, but I'm trying to be patient so I could put it with the video and everything. But next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Also, we have some interviews coming up, so stay tuned for the flyers. I just posted one earlier with B Hills, great artist too, so stay tuned for that as well. Have a good night, everyone.